For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi bafowethu, Amakhosi for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, siyacela ukuthi subscribe iDiskiTV.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. It's Mamelodi Sundowns defeating comprehensively Sekhukhune. Some tonight may feel that this is the end of the title race, number one. Number two, it's the end of the debate for player of the season because the gap between whoever are the nominees really is widening. There's one player who's continuously performing and there's another who's off form. That's one of our diamonds, of course. We'll keep on pushing him next year. He'll certainly be young player of the season, but I suppose in the conversation of the biggest prize in the country for the league, it will probably just be one player, and that player is a Brazilian player. It would be unfair to think otherwise, really, at this point. Now, those two races are very important. Player of the season, looks like it's decided. Now, who's going to be the number one in this country? The more Sundowns accumulate points, the more it looks bleak for Orlando Pirates, given that they have these 4 matches in hand, that every time they play a game, there's this catch-up. That's 15 points now. It could be 18 points by the time it's 5 o'clock on Saturday. We shall see whether or not that will happen. Lindo Pep Guardiola, what did you make of the game? So maybe even addressing the part of these two
title
races. It's a title race and also the player of the season.
Yep.
Your opinions on that?
Shapunjan, Mr. Nkeo.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi technical director and chairman.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi Justa, Ngibulisi Cardoso.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisi no Mr. Shane and Shane.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Miguel Cardoso and Mamelodi Sundowns. Of course, maybe let's start with Sekhukhune United. Just get it out of the way.
Let's get out of the way
Okay.
the two main questions.
The two main questions. Okay, with regards to the title race, what interests me the most is the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns is already 15 points. By Saturday, it's going to be 18.
It could be.
It could be 18 before even Orlando Pirates plays. But for Mamelodi Sundowns to win the league, they're going to have to win 11 games and draw one. And those points take them to 82 points. The Orlando Pirates, even if they were to win their 5 games...
You're overly complicating this.
Okay.
So this is a simple question about where do you stand at this point. It's not about mathematically. Because, of course, if we were going to mathematically, then we could say, no, Pirates is still in it for as long as they're still mathematically in it. But what is your feeling at this point?
My feeling is the title race is over, in my opinion. It's just that, obviously, just to be realistic and to keep the season and the league on fire, you're looking at the fact that even if Orlando Pirates do win their games, their 5 games, they're going to have to beat Mamelodi Sundowns or Orlando Stadium in March on the 15th. But that brings them 1 point. It's a 1 point difference. What's interesting the most about our title race, Nkulego, even if I do say it's over, I would like for Orlando Pirates to push as much as possible. Reason being is because the tally of points that they might gather this season, it might give them the confidence to compete for next season, because for them to even reach 70 points is a huge milestone for them as a football team, as the players.
They can
build on 70 points.
Okay, player of the season debate?
Player of the season, in my opinion, give it to Lucas Ribeiro. I understand in 2K.
We tried.
He tried.
He tried even himself.
He scored a very important goal.
Because he's growing.
Yep.
I think the most important factor about it is that he's growing as a human being.
Yep.
And also, as he's growing, he's starting to understand now how to respond to pressure, how to respond to a loss of form. He might be even jolling for the first time in his life in a prolonged relationship. So he's growing as a human being.
It's an important season.
So that also affects everything else. Whereas the other seasoned players, they know how to play this. He had a brilliant opening to the season, and it was fair to put him in that conversation. But I think it's unfair to look at anyone else now.
Yeah, Lucas Ribeiro has done it. He's done it all the season in terms of consistent performances. I think he's got 11 goals, the number of assists, the chance creations, decision-making that he makes. Affecting games, and positively so. And also it's been very important to mention that in the CAF Champions League, he's been our best player. Even when you're looking at teams that must lie low block, every time Mamelodi Sundowns, when they play low block. And one of the principles with low block is you need individual brilliance. Sometimes he shows up when the team needs him the most. But with regards to Rilem Fukeng, we have to mention the fact that the boy has done exceptionally well. He scored important goals as well. His numbers might not be Afana Naga Lucas Ribeiro, but the boy did very well to push Lucas. And I'm hoping, for sure. But Lucas does deserve it, more especially as a Mamelodi Sundowns, as a foreign player. I think he's done exceptionally well for himself.
Definitely. Sundowns, you were going to talk about Sekhukhune first, because of course they were very cautious. And you made a very important point as we were observing them as the match was playing out. You were saying that it looks like Sekhukhune only wants to play when they are behind. They went behind 1-0. They kind of wanted to play. They scored. It was 1-1. Then they stopped playing. And then they went behind 2-1. they kind of wanted to play as well. Then it was 3-1, and then they only started playing when they were behind in the game. Why do you think that was the case?
For me, even from a planning perspective, in too many invincible coaches. That's what is said. It's invincible coaches, because for me, it's lack of planning. You can tell that invincible.
Invisible.
Coach at this team because you can tell that Usiema, he's
also what you're saying is that the actual coach is not the one who's coaching.
Yeah.
You're suspecting that.
I'm suspecting that, and also it's important to mention that with our black coaches, they are hired to represent to be the face of the management. And in my opinion, this is living proof that Usiema, there was no planning into this game. Probably, I'm not sure, I'm probably speculating with regards to camping as well. But for me, even from a tactical perspective, what is happening with you and not fielding senior players? I'm onto him now, the coach. Because you've got a Jamie Weber who has a big potential of being he hasn't played in a long time, selected for HN squad. He's one that can help in that midfield. You look at their tactical structure. Ungobo is not there. From a defensive perspective, Uchi Babe makes a lot of mistakes. But from there, in my opinion, what's more critical is the fact that they start the game is 11 men behind the ball. They've got two defensive midfielders, Gumukwana, Nomkizo, who sit very deep. There's no intentions of attacking. You're looking at the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns, because there are two things when you analyze the game, is that Zigu Pipe is Bavula Gupi Gupimbo. Mamelodi Sundowns is a team that attacks on a fullback. Maupege on paper, he's got Utla Disang, he's got Umakhaula on the left hand side. Those are two wingers who are very dangerous in terms of isolating a fullback on a 1v1 situation. Maybe you can question the quality in the final third. But Cheetah, I think even the goal comes from that. By allowing
the first goal
comes from that, by allowing Otladisa to cheat. Umakhaula is very dangerous in terms of being dynamic in a 1v1 situation. The one player that let him down, number 10, Umnube. And in my opinion, I don't know why I'm Ufigo, because Ufigo's got the energy to play as a box-to-box midfielder. He can help you in regaining the ball into your half and driving your team into the opponent's half. But for me, very, very, very troubling in terms of planning from an analytics perspective, because I'm a reaction they only do reactions every time Sundowns my core. And for me, that's questionable. It tells you that they didn't have a game plan of how they want to approach Mamelodi Sundowns. Because you're looking at the profile of this team. This team has a better quality to do something to Sundowns. They could have initiated.
Not even winning, but make it a competitive game.
Make it a competitive game. Because you can see even the coach, for me, to say, plan to have an idea, show that you want to give him Mamelodi Sundowns a game. Because even from a tactical perspective, because the quality of those players, they're not bad. Look, even on paper. On paper, Nkulego, Ucheke, Guno Mnube, Guno Keletso, Guno Makhaulwa, Guno Poel, who's been scoring goal scoring form. Yeah. You're looking at that front four, front five. It looks like a players that should express themselves, give them the freedom to attack. And then you've got these 4 players or 6 players who have defensive responsibilities. Because anyway, Umkize doesn't give you anything going forward. Umukwana doesn't give you anything going forward. You don't have Udash, you don't have Ufigo, you don't have Weber into that midfield. So for me, I was expecting him to say, I'm playing up against a better quality in terms of quality of a player, in terms of intensity.
I think the interesting one, sorry to cut you, would be to listen to, I'm so buzzing, it's just that we're working now, but to listen to Siema's post-match, just to see his demeanor. How does it sound like? Because with all these rumors circulating about Eric Tinkler, you might find that it was a matter of honoring his contract to come to this game. That kind of affected how he set up in this game, because I agree with you, he has a decent enough team to challenge Sundowns. Not to win, of course, you can win a random game if Nkulunkulu is on your side, but most of the time you're going to lose to Sundowns because you're a weaker team than them, but they could have been more competitive tonight. For
me, body language of the players are telling you everything. The body language of the technical team as well says you everything. Like when I started invincible coaching, you can tell that underground. And for me, this is not a reflection of him, because he's done well with Bloemfontein Celtics, has done well in some of the teams that he's coached. And for me, he's third on the log. Third on the log with 31 points. Third or fourth, he's 31 points. But he's done well. He's third on the log, 31 points. He's survived already. 30 points take you into his survival.
Just a quick one. There's a signal from Justice on Sundowns. What did you see with Sundowns? What did you like about Sundowns?
I like the fact that in position of the ball, we look very, very clean, Kulego. We make these games sometimes feel like training sessions. We're a team that is free scoring. One of the things that I will give Miguel Cardoso credit for is that his team knows how to play the moment. Sometimes it's not about the tactical structure and the tactical format. Sometimes if playing a long ball, playing a diagonal dodge, playing a vertical pass, if we check out the vertical pass, it allowed diagonal to Jaden Adams with the first goal, an incredible first touch from Umra, and we later punishes. Even the diagonal ball that Ribeiro plays to Oprim Diba, where he could have brought it back, the diagonal balls there too much. So they play the moment. It's not all the time where they were looking for a special pass, yoke breaker. Because the one thing that I like also about Mamelodi Sundowns are the 2-8s that are playing there. You always find Jaden Adams making a third man run. You always find Marcelo Allende trying to influence the game from midfield. But now the confidence of Futebza as well into that defensive midfielder. But now what worries me the most is the tactical format at the back, which is something that I am saying we need to work on it before. We are very vulnerable because now Nkulego Sidlalang at 2, right? But now the responsibility of Futebza is to be at that centre back because now the 2 centre backs, and it's modern football, it's a coaching moment. If you are a coach that likes attacking a full back, then you need centre backs that are able to defend the Jengama full backs because you're leaving them 1v1 situations. Now it's a question of judging them whether they are late, whether they can anticipate, and whether they are very good 1v1 defending. Ever since we've seen Lucas Suarez, he's been getting a challenge. I think 1v1 situations he loses those battles defensively because now also you can question Opri because Opri is also too far. His first responsibility is to be a left back, not to be an attacking player. So into those situations, can we fix it back for you too? More especially when we play against tougher teams to say, can we consolidate, make sure that Umrena is solid or Rumdao, you don't go up and down because with serious teams, with better attacking players, with better quality, they will punish us as much as Sekhukhune has punished us. But from a midfield perspective, I like the combination with the 2-8 with Utebza. One of the things maybe that might work over time, it's not working yet, Ilega Peter Shalulile and Ikram Reinas. For me, you need to pick one out of the 2. Because if Reinas, like today, Reinas was the one who was trying. You could see him on the ball, you could see him without the ball. Shalulile is closed off.
Final one from me to you. Any signs of improvement? Keep it short. Arthur Salis, any signs of improvement? If you can criticize someone, you can also compliment someone. I'm not saying you must compliment him. Any signs of improvement? A
very good finish. First, identical thing, keep it simple. 10s, finishes, picks a spot. That's an incredible finish, Nkulego. That goal is not easy because to pick each side net is a very difficult
Generally speaking, any signs of improvement, Salis? It can be a yes, it can be a no, whatever you feel about him so far.
I still need to see more, but good goal from him.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much to Lindo Pep. Thank you very much to you guys as well. I was itching to see Coach Siema speak or hear him speak as well, because I do think that there's a lot of external factors that are affecting the way he approaches this game. He's lost to Pirates recently at the same stadium. He's losing to Sundowns tonight as well at the same stadium. Of course, there are big teams and small teams for a reason, and we expected Sundowns to defeat Sekhukhune here tonight. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times was suspecting.
Ola bafethu bongani bobomnisi bafethu ngicela subscribe ku iDiskiTV.
Ola bafethu, this is Junior Kanye. Please subscribe to iDiskiTV.